now we move on to a different situation. So we just talked about a team that had no expectations. This next guy coming in that got drafted, totally different situation. So there are expectations for him. Rob Dillingham, that was initially drafted by the Spurs. He gets traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now he's playing with some big time talents. He's
Yeah.
got Ant-Man next to him. Got Gobert. He's got Jaden McDaniels. He's got Cat. So there's a lot of legit dudes in the locker room with him. So I'm excited for him as well.
Western Conference Finals.
Yep, exactly. So, like right off the heels of that awesome playoff run, it's like, all right, here you go. He's the next generation of Timberwolves basketball. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what Rob is going to bring to the table. But my first question about Rob, Damien, we're going back here now to OT. His experience in OTE. I want to kind of find out about that a little bit. Most likely his primary skill is the handle. Rob with the shifts is his handle on Instagram. So, I mean, literally, like it's in his name. You just know what he brings to the table. So was the goal for him, what's the idea for him in OTE? Just to be himself, just kind of let him be creative and just let loose
Yeah.
with as far as like handling the basketball.
Well, for us, we wanted Rob to be Rob. Like we brought him there to be shifty. That's must watch, must see TV. Like everyone tunes into Rob. Like he's a media darling, right? I mean, it's just, the swag, the confidence, the handle. Like he lives up to his billing all the time. And, I think for us, we wanted him to learn how to be efficient and not force the game, kind of let the game come to him, but also be willing to make plays for others. And about halfway into our season, he started to get it. He wasn't forcing anything, and he was really good for us. It's a shame that their team, while he was here, didn't advance in the playoffs because they had a really good roster. But it wasn't, because of anything that Rob was doing or wasn't doing. I think it was more of a chemistry thing more than anything. We brought him in pretty late into our season, and then we had to make some roster moves due to that. So I think that team just kind of, was hurt by those things. But yeah, I mean, I don't know a more confident player right now on the planet than Rob Dillingham. Next to Kobe, God rest his soul, he's probably the most confident player I've ever met in my life.
That's what makes him such a special player. It's so much fun to watch. I know when as you transition to another part of this game, it really popped when he was with Kentucky. So he was an awesome shooter with Kentucky. You had any thoughts about what kind of changed for him from OTE to college to allow him to kind of expand his game from the 3-point line specifically?
I mean, again, it goes back to being comfortable and uncomfortable, right? I think when he got here, we made him uncomfortable a lot, from having to be guarded by Menon Nassar, competing against Bryce Griggs every day, guys of that nature, and the Jalen Martins of the world, the Jay Gorts of the world, Jay Zion Gortman, like those things help you get better, and you might not see those results in real time. You might see them later on down the road. And I think when Rob got to Kentucky, he was always going to be a really good player, like regardless. And I think whatever school he went to past OTE, he would go up and be the best version that we've seen so far because of everything that he went through and learned at OTE. Like we really forced him to be better. And like it was challenging because when you're used to a certain thing, a certain way, you kind of fight the system a little bit.